3 months after a crushing loss in his Texas Senate race, Beto O'Rourke has maintained his status as a rising Democratic star. And now, by way of Oprah's interview couch, he is hinting at a White House run. Oprah asked him for the sit down to, quote, see what the fuss is all about.
Thank you for the chance to sit down and see that if you are the real deal. Are you the real deal?
I feel some pressure now. When you put it that way.
Oprah said she first noticed O'Rourke when he made a call to action from the border regarding family separations.
Come down to El Paso, to Tornillo, where we are imprisoning these kids, something that is tantamount to torture, what we are doing to them. And bear witness to this. And let's testify to everyone that this is happening in your name in this country. Do not blame this on Donald Trump. Do not blame this on a political party. Do not blame this on someone else. If we are a democracy, then the people are the government. The government is the people. It's on every single one of us.
So that was a huge piece of the interview, but really the question of the hour, will he or won't he run for president in 2020? O'Rourke said that he would be making a decision by the end of the month. So with me now, Gromer Jeffers. He's a political reporter for the Dallas Morning News. He was at the event. Gromer, good to have you on. What do you think? You think he's going to?
He is. I think he's going to. Since you're right, Brooke, it was a crushing defeat, a close defeat, but crushing nonetheless. But since then, he's been preparing to run. I mean, the trip that he took to clear his head, all the buzz, there's a Draft Beto movement out there. And in his interview with Oprah, he's in. I think he's in, unless, and there's always that caveat, if the family doesn't want me to do it, then I'll have to reconsider it. But all signs point to he's going to give this a go. But
you had mentioned to me a second ago, perhaps, not fully excited in this whole thing would be some Texas Democrats. Tell me why.
Yeah, because, he had a close Senate race against Cruz, came within 2.6% of winning. Brooke, a Texas Democrat, hasn't won a statewide race since 1994. And because he came so close, they feel like he can run in 2020 against John Cornyn, the senior senator here, and perhaps win. He came that close. One more biscuit for breakfast, maybe he gets over the top. And so there are a lot of people in Texas who want him to finish the job for Senate. Cornyn, that's a different matchup, but they feel it's a better risk than running for president.
What about, there's this new word that's been coined, Betomania. We're seeing this growing fanaticism from young people over a candidate, candidates who really know how to leverage their social media to their advantage. But O'Rourke's interview with the Washington Post just a couple weeks ago, Gromer, showed a real lack of policy knowledge. And do you think, I'm curious what you're hearing from Texans. Are we at a point in this country where likability beats out experience and wonkiness?
Yeah, I think we are, and I think we've been inching that way for a long time. It's not so much, that he doesn't have policy chops. I mean, he's been in Congress and all of that, but that was the criticism from Republicans, that his message is pretty straightforward and doesn't have substance. But remember in 2008, Barack Obama stormed onto the scene with his convention. Well, the convention speech was in 2004, the keynote address. But in 2008, his message was hope and change, and he took a little criticism for that as well. But sometimes that positive message resonates with people, and you don't need a whole lot else. A message, an organization, and a whole lot of money, and that can make a difference. And I think O'Rourke feels like he can do all of that.
Sure.
And he's looking at the field, right?
I think Obama, those who knew Obama, even then Senator Obama, would argue he would never have given the interview the way in which Beto O'Rourke did to the Washington Post, and he is a wonk. But I take your point. I really want to get to this question because Nia Malika Henderson, she is this extraordinary correspondent contributor here at CNN, and she was remarking on Beto O'Rourke's recent multi-state journey, and she wrote this op-ed, and the headline says it all. She wrote, Beto's excellent adventure drips with white male privilege. And so she wrote in part, and Jack Kerouac style, he roams around jobless, does he not need a job, to find himself and figure out if he wants to lead the free world. This is a luxury no woman or even minority in politics could ever have. Does she have a point?
I love the Jack Kerouac. I love that reference. She does have a point. And when you look at the field, the Democratic contenders, you have a mix of candidates, but the message is the same. They're the party for everyone, and trying to be the party for everyone, inclusive, the middle class, the poor, the have-nots. And when Beto said that he was lamenting the fact that first time he was unemployed for about 20 years, that sort of rubbed some people the wrong way, because there are people out there who legitimately have problems with employment or are underemployed and can't, take a trip, rambling through Kansas or whatnot, decide whether you're running for president. So, yeah, I mean, that's a problem for him. And that's sort of a blind spot that he'll have to fix once he gets outside of Texas and in different parts of the country.
Sure, if he decides to do this thing.
Exactly.
Right, which you are guessing he will. I have a feeling you and I are talking again, Gromer Jeffers.
He will.
Okay. We'll hold off on for sure yet, but Gromer Jeffers, thank you so much with the Dallas Morning News. Great to have you on. I appreciate you.
Good to be here.